actually trying to get into. So I'm going live Facebook, Instagram right now. And this is an opportunity for anybody that has thought about getting coaching with me before. They like some of my quotes. They've seen some of my videos. And they're just trying to decide if coaching is something that they particularly want, right? So the topic actually is, there are many keys to many doors in life, but there are two keys in particular that we actually want to get hold of. We actually want to master. There are two keys that we want to get hold of. And what are those two keys? Those two keys are the key of forgiveness and then the key of showing love. Those two keys right there actually opens up way more doors than we actually think could ever actually open for us. There are so many doors that we don't realize that would not actually be open to us because we have not mastered or grabbed those keys in those two areas. So there could be a situation where you have not forgiven somebody. So you do not have the key to forgiveness, and it is not saying that what didn't happen to you didn't happen. It's not minimizing anything that actually happened to you in your life. What it is saying is, because you have not held that particular key of forgiveness, what is going to happen is there may be a door that you can now not get into because you have not gotten the key. So you don't have access to certain rooms because you don't have the key to forgiveness. And think about it like this. The key to forgiveness, it's not for other people. It's not for them. A lot of times we tend to believe that if I forgive somebody, then I'm excusing their behavior. If I forgive somebody, then I am minimizing how I feel. If I forgive somebody, then I am not being true to myself. I'm almost letting myself down because I forgave them. And that is not true, because forgiveness, having the key to forgiveness, is actually a very powerful strength. And so one of those doors that it opens up, the key to forgiveness opens up the door of healing. But see, we cannot open the door of healing without the key of forgiveness. And that key that we have, or that we want to actually obtain, that is something that we have to grab hold of that key. Nobody can give us the key to forgiveness. Just like nobody can open the door of healing for us. That is something that we have to essentially do. That is a place that we will find ourselves at once we actually harness that key. Once we actually hold that key of forgiveness. And so the key of forgiveness actually also works in conjunction with the key of love. See, the key of love and the key of forgiveness actually forge into one master key. And once we forge those two keys to become a master key, then there are doors that we can open. As I said before, the door of healing. The door of acceptance, of positive energy. Well, if you don't have the key of love, you will not be able to open the door of positive energy. Because what will happen is you'll constantly be repelling, right? Because you have not opened that door for that energy to flow towards you. And it's not saying that we don't have a reason. You may very well have a reason. You may very well have justified feelings. But again, you are now hurting yourself by not harnessing those two keys, the key of forgiveness and the key of love. So, when we look at it from the standpoint of there are doors that we are trying to get into, and we may have many, many other keys. We may have the key of sympathy, and we may have the key of empathy, and we may have the key of caring, and we may have the key of knowledge. But if we don't have the key of forgiveness, and we don't have the key of love, now you may have the key of forgiveness but don't have the key of love. And you may have the key of love and don't have the key of forgiveness. Well, see, what is going to happen is when you don't have both of those keys, there are going to be some doors that you can open and some doors you cannot. So if you have the key of love, but you do not have the key of forgiveness, well, what is going to end up happening is you're going to find yourself in a position where now every single time you actually are in a position to receive certain energy, right? Because say you have the key of love but don't have the key of forgiveness. So you cannot open the door of healing, right? But you can open the door of positive energy. So what will happen is you'll have the positive energy flowing towards you, but you will not be able to receive the healing that is necessary for you. And so once we realize that there are many keys in life and there are many doors that require different keys, we can now say, what door do I either need to walk into or want to walk into? And what key is it going to take in order for me to open those doors? When we decide and think about that, when we look at it from that standpoint, it really helps us to now operate differently. It really helps us to say, okay, the environment that I am in may be the reason why I do not have certain keys harnessed, or I wasn't given the information to create certain keys. Because ultimately, you are the key maker. And once you learn how to forge those keys and to make them, you can now open the doors that you need to open. You can now access the rooms that needs to be accessed. And so, what does that mean? Well, that really means see what it is that you need. Study yourself and answer yourself honestly. What things am I struggling with? Because those things that you're struggling with is the very things that is the doors that you need to walk into. So if you struggle with forgiveness, well, the door that you need to walk into is healing. If you struggle with love, really showing it, well, you struggle with the door of positive energy. You need to go into that door. So there are, again, many doors. And for many doors, there are many keys. And in order for us to get into the doors or the rooms that we need to be in, we have to figure out what key opens what door so we can actually enter it. So remember, this is Mr. Mindful Minute, and this was just my mindful moment with Mr. Mindful Minute.